ताजदारे मुगलिया शहंशाह हिंदुस्तान जलालुद्दीन मोहम्मद तशरीफ ला रहे हैं।
Could you identify the role that Hrithik Roshan played in the clip we just watched? Well, it was the role of the Mughal Emperor Akbar. In our last lesson, we discussed the rule of the second Mughal emperor, that Humayun was. Humayun ascended the throne after his father Babur, and Humayun did not enjoy a smooth and efficient rule. He even had to live in exile for 15 long years. And after Humayun's untimely death in 1556, it was his son Akbar who now ascended the throne as the third Mughal emperor. Akbar was a great emperor and his rule was very efficient. Akbar is also praised for his great military as well as administrative capacities. In this lesson, we will be focusing on the rule of Akbar, how he came to power and how he managed to retain his power by leading various very successful military campaigns. Akbar was only of 13 years of age when his father Humayun passed away in 1556. So Akbar ascended the throne in 1556 at only 13 years of age. Can you imagine how difficult it must have been for young Akbar to ascend the throne and take care of the Mughal Empire? It wasn't at all easy for him, but Akbar's mentor, chief advisor, regent, Bairam Khan helped him a lot. So when he was only of 13 years of age, Bairam Khan helped Akbar a lot in order to ascend the throne and consolidate the Mughal Empire. So it was under the leadership of Bairam Khan that Akbar also went on to leading many very successful military campaigns. And immediately after ascending the throne in 1556, Akbar made Bairam Khan his vakil or Prime Minister. Before proceeding with this lesson, let me ask you a question. Who was Akbar's chief advisor that helped him ascend the throne at an early age? Was it Bairam Khan, Hemu, Timur or Genghis Khan? Well, the correct answer is Bairam Khan. It was Akbar's chief advisor, mentor and regent Bairam Khan who helped him a lot to not just ascend the throne but consolidate the Mughal Empire. The Mughal Empire gained in both power and glory and extent during the rule of Akbar. Akbar was a very successful Mughal emperor. And for the purpose of discussion, we have divided Akbar's military career into three phases. We begin with the phase from 1556 to 1570. So these were the initial years of Akbar's rule as the third Mughal emperor. We have learnt that after ascending the throne of the Mughal Empire, Akbar had made Bairam Khan his vakil or prime minister. But in due course of the years, Akbar became independent of Bairam Khan, and not just independent of Bairam Khan but several other Mughal officials. So Akbar at this point of time was now gaining power and authority over the people as well as the lands. Now Akbar knew that his father Humayun was defeated twice by Shesha Suri. In fact, the Sur rulers posed a great challenge to the Mughal Empire. In our last lesson, we learned that when Humayun was defeated by Shesha Suri in the Battle of Kannauj in 1540, Delhi and Agra went under the control of the Sur rulers. So the Mughal Empire was no longer in control of Delhi and Agra. And so Akbar took it upon himself to take action against these Sur rulers because the Mughal Empire was constantly being threatened by invasion from these Sur rulers. And to this end, he decided to march to reclaim his control over Delhi. He defeated one of the Sur rulers called Hemu in the Second Battle of Panipat in 1556. But this did not mean an end to the power of all the Sur rulers, because Akbar had to defeat another very powerful Sur ruler, that was Sikandar Shah Suri. Now Akbar found it quite difficult to initially suppress Sikandar Shah Lohi, but nevertheless he managed to do so. And Sikandar Shah Lohi, after being defeated by Akbar, was alleged to have fled to eastern Bengal. Following this, Akbar now gained control of Lahore and the Multan province in Punjab. Now in our first lesson on the Mughal Empire, we learnt about the Uzbeks, that was a Mongol group. Now the Uzbeks constantly posed a challenge to the Mughal Empire, so much so that they had actually compelled Akbar's grandfather Babur to give up his throne. So the Uzbeks were a very strong opposition in Central Asia, and Akbar had to defeat them. So Akbar now suppressed revolts from the Afghans in Afghanistan as well as the Uzbeks. Akbar was also posed a challenge by his half-brother Mirza Hakim, who ruled Kabul in Afghanistan. And Mirza Hakim kept on opposing Akbar's rule throughout his career. And so Akbar also managed to suppress revolts from his half-brother Mirza Hakim during the first phase of his military career. As a great emperor, Akbar wanted to rule efficiently. And so, following his suppression of revolts from the Afghans, the Uzbeks, as well as his half-brother Mirza Hakim, Akbar now focused on his rule in the subcontinent. And so, while he was doing so, he had to take care of the rebellious Rajputs, those Rajputs who posed their challenge to the Mughal Empire, those Rajputs who had established their supremacy and dominion in the northern and central parts of the Indian subcontinent. Now during this time, in the first phase of Akbar's military career, he was mostly focusing on the central, northern and western parts of the Indian subcontinent. In the year 1560, Akbar had conquered the Malwa Sultanate. So the Malwa Sultanate was now under the control of Akbar. Following this, he launched an attack on the Mewar kingdom, and the siege of Chittorgarh happened between 1567 and 1568. So this now meant that Mewar was also under the control of the Mughal Empire. After controlling Mewar, Akbar also laid siege on Ranthambore between 1568 and 1569. So by capturing Malwa, Mewar and Ranthambore, Akbar did a very crucial thing, and that was to bring the rebellious Rajputs under the dominion of the Mughal Empire. Now we move on to the second phase of Akbar's military career, and here the years we are considering are from 1570 to 1585. Now Akbar wanted to extend the Mughal Empire in several parts of the Indian subcontinent, and in order to manage an empire efficiently, Akbar also had to promote trade activities within his empire. Now this was a time when different kinds of communication, be that aeroplanes or buses, trains, cars, were not available. Sea routes were the only routes through which trade used to take place. And Akbar also needed to control the sea routes in order to promote trade activities in the Mughal Empire. So how did he manage to do so? In 1572, he attacked Ahmedabad in Gujarat. Following this, by the year 1573, Akbar now gained control over Gujarat as well as several other port cities in Gujarat. And when he controlled Gujarat, he now gained his power over Surat. Surat was the most important port city in Gujarat at that point of time. So the ports of Surat were now under the control of the Mughal Empire, and this facilitated trade in the Mughal Empire. Now, when we talk about these port cities, Gujarat and Bengal were the most important to him, because Gujarat and Bengal were the main hubs of trade activities in the subcontinent at this point of time. Through the sea routes from Gujarat and Bengal, trade activities used to happen among the Indian subcontinent, Central Asia as well as Europe. The Arabian Sea on the western side and the Bay of Bengal on the eastern side were used for the establishment of these trade routes. And so it was very crucial for Akbar to gain control of these trade routes, and he did so partially by controlling Gujarat by 1573. Then he now had to control Bengal. He defeated the Afghan Sultan in Bengal, Daud Khan, in the Battle of Tukaroy in 1575. And when he did so, he now controlled the regions of Bengal, Bihar and Odisha. So with this, Akbar was now in control of the eastern ports in the subcontinent. So from this we can understand how Akbar's expansionist policies reached their zenith during this second period of Akbar's military career. Akbar was wanting to extend the territories of the Mughal Empire. Akbar was wanting to gain more and more power. He was wanting to establish a very efficient Mughal Empire. But despite all these successful military campaigns, he continued to face opposition from his half-brother Mirza Hakim. So Mirza Hakim kept on opposing Akbar's rule, and this was an opposition that he kept on facing throughout his military career. And last but not the least, we come to the final or the third phase of Akbar's military career, and this period spans from 1585 to 1605. So just a while ago we mentioned this point that Akbar continued to face opposition from his half-brother Mirza Hakim. In 1581, Akbar had gained control over Kabul in Afghanistan, and he pardoned his half-brother Mirza Hakim. He let Mirza Hakim rule Kabul, but Mirza Hakim passed away in 1585. So from this, Akbar now controlled Kabul in 1585 with the death of Mirza Hakim. Now during this final phase of his military career, Akbar committed himself to controlling more and more regions in the western parts of the subcontinent. So we learned that he controlled Kabul in 1585 with the death of Mirza Hakim. Then he also annexed Kashmir to the Mughal Empire in 1586. So this entire northwestern and western parts of the Indian subcontinent were now under the control of the Mughal Empire. But we also know that the Mughals hailed from Afghanistan. And Afghanistan was a place where various rulers used to rule, be that the Mongols or even the Safavids. Now, this place called Kandahar in Afghanistan is located quite close to the region that was controlled by the Safavids. The Safavids were Persian rulers, and the Safavids also posed great challenge to the Mughal Empire. Now this was a time of his final expansionist policies, and so Akbar wanted to control this entire region in Afghanistan. He wanted to bring both Kabul and Kandahar under his control, and to this end he brought Kandahar under the control of the Mughal Empire by defeating the Safavids in 1595. Now we have learnt about how Akbar had gained control over huge portions in the Indian subcontinent, and these portions were in the northern, western and central parts of the subcontinent. Akbar was a very strong and able military leader, and so he did not want to keep the Mughal Empire restricted only to this region. The Mughal Empire was initially restricted to only the northern part of the Indian subcontinent when it was founded by Babur, but under the great leadership of the Mughal Emperor Akbar, the Mughal Empire only gained in size and power. And so, at this point of time, Akbar now started eyeing the southern parts of the subcontinent. And to this end, by 1593, Akbar had attacked the Deccan Sultans who did not accept the sovereignty of Mughal rule. And he besieged the Ahmednagar fort in 1595, forcing Chand Bibi to cede Bedar. Then all these places, Ahmednagar, Bedar as well as Khandesh, now came under the control of the Mughal Empire, and these were made the new Subas. So these Subas of Ahmednagar, Bedar and Khandesh were put under the administrative power of Prince Daniel, who became the new governor of the Deccan region. At great length, we have discussed the various phases of Akbar's military career. He went on to controlling so many regions because he was driven by an expansionist policy, because he had committed himself to gaining more and more territories and in turn to increasing his power. And this is how the Mughal Empire looked during the rule of Akbar. So this was the extent of the Mughal Empire under Akbar, and we can see how the western, northern as well as the central parts of the Indian subcontinent now came under the control of the Mughal Empire. Now what we have talked about pertained to the military career of Akbar. But this was not the only thing, the only legacy that Akbar left behind. During his rule, he undertook the construction of many marvelous and fabulous Mughal architectures. Akbar founded Fatehpur Sikri in 1571, and this now became the new capital of the Mughal Empire, and it continued to be so till 1585 when other invasions had taken place. He had also built many other famous architectures like the Buland Darwaza as well as the Jama Masjid. Having learned at great length about how Akbar had come to power and managed to increase the power and the extent of the Mughal Empire, it is imperative on our part to also find out how he managed to administer and efficiently rule such a huge extent. In a subsequent lesson, we will be focusing on Akbar's administrative policies that helped him to rule such a huge empire with great elan. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon. You can also register for free at DeltaStep.com or download the DeltaStep app to learn one-to-one with our amazing teachers or to get access to all our 5,000 plus amazing videos as per your school syllabus. Master each topic with our adaptive practice technology. Get million plus questions with step-by-step solutions and unlimited mock tests. Get all your doubts resolved instantly. Learn via games and win amazing prizes like PlayStations and iPads. So at DeltaStep, learning is not just fun and easy, it's rewarding too. So register for free now.